Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Groove podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington, and we are back. Got a totally new show we are checking out, and we are talking about Moon Knight. And the first episode was the Goldfish Problem. That was kind of like a weird one because it wasn't really a goldfish problem, but it's sort of a obscured name for, you know, an
Well, it's a reference
episode,
to the fish that he had, the one fin fish.
right?
That yeah,
Yeah, but it wasn't really they didn't talk a lot about the fish, it was just like a little bit of information about the fish, but that's it. But this
yeah,
show here now, this is I mean, you're totally into MCU. This is a character you're not too familiar with, is it?
yeah. Well, I would say I'm more a DC guy than Marvel,
Mhm.
but I know enough about Marvel, and Moon Knight is like I would guess a C or a D level character.
Oh,
He's
shoot.
not
You
he's not an
said
Iron Man
D-lister. He's a
or
D-lister, huh?
yeah, he's not an Iron Man or a Luke Cage or
Mhm.
anything like that. He's not as recognizable as a lot of these other characters are.
Yeah.
And so he's a cool character because you can basically do whatever you want because there's not a big rich lore like Spider-Man. Spider-Man has to be done the exact way every time or
Right.
people are gonna get mad at you.
Right.
Same with like Superman would. You gotta do it the same way, or it's not how I remember Superman. It's some BS, whatever. Moon Knight is a character that's obscure enough, and people will just respect of, well, this is your vision now. All right, cool. And no one's gonna get offended. But even Moon Knight fans are just happy this thing exists. So I
Yeah.
don't I don't think gonna be a big backlash against the way this thing's created.
Mhm.
And they have good actors in it. Ethan Hawke,
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac, great actors in there. Cast is solid, feels good.
And the other thing is for this to be a TV show episodic, man, this thing looks so good, doesn't it? This is movie quality out the box, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. It looks like a mini series cut in sections. That was a movie.
Man, it
That's what it
looks
looks
good.
like.
See, that's what we were talking about when we did another review of another show. It's just like this show looks like a TV show, but this show
Mhm.
looks like a movie. And this is a
Yeah,
TV show that looks like a movie, episodically speaking, and it's just like, wow, every episode looks like a movie. Moon Knight looks like it's going to, you know, jump off
mhm,
as movie quality because I thought like again, the quality was really dope, the characters were solid, and just the different sort of scenes and everything else really was cool. Here's an interesting thing about Moon Knight for this one specific episode. They only
mhm,
mentioned four character names in this episode: JB, Stephen
mhm,
Grant, Donna, which is the person who works in the museum, and
mhm.
Arthur, who is the guy with the scales on his arms. He's kind of weird, isn't he?
See, I have no idea who this character
Yeah.
is.
And what's the
So I was gonna say
scales
everything's
about,
new for me.
It's pretty new, man. What do
Yeah,
you think about this thus far?
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Mhm.
I thought like like I care about the visuals and I care about the acting and stuff like that. And so it was interesting. It was compelling seeing what was going on. You know what? A hallmark of a good show is that I want to see more. I want to see where things are
Yes.
going.
Yep.
And it was very open, so it wasn't like oh, I could tell this is going to happen next. Like I was as confused as his character was about what's happening, but done in a good way.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to know, oh, is this a dream? Is this real? Where is this going from? Like, how many characters is this guy's head? Like, you didn't even know, at least initially, if you know anything about the character, then you understand what's going on. But when the show started, I didn't know that he had multiple characters in his head. I didn't know this is the route they were gonna go. Like, it was compelling and interesting. So that's what made it a fun watch and worth watching again.
So this guy has like split personality, or is he dealing with something else? I mean, what's going on with him? Because it seems like he's himself, who's Stephen Grant, and then you have this other character within himself,
Yeah.
within Stephen Grant called Mark. And it's like, okay, it's starting, it could get confusing. And it's a little
Mhm.
confusing, right? Because it's like,
It's
okay,
very confusing
who's
at
Mark?
first.
Who's the guy talking to him? Just the guy, the voice
Yeah.
he hears, because those voices are different. He has two different voices, right?
Yeah.
One sounds like
Oh,
Sean Connery, but it's not. Right?
yeah, it's so that's a an Egyptian god,
Mhm.
that's like, basically possessing his body, I
Right.
guess a good way to say it,
Mhm.
and he's using his multiple personalities to get him to do missions for him, and I guess he's good. I don't know, like, it's not clear right now who's good or who's bad or whatever,
Mhm.
but it's obvious that the Arthur guy, whoever that god is running his thing, is obviously bad because 'cause they're trying to judge everybody and I guess annihilate half the world. I don't know what their plan
How
is.
weird is
Like that,
Arthur, you know?
yeah. Whatever god that he's talking to or whatever's running his thing, it's clearly that's a bad guy. Now, Mark's god, I don't know what that guy's doing. Like he seems like he's kind of funny because he's making fun of him, like he's the idiot is in charge or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, ah, yeah, put the other guy in charge. Like, this guy run. We're doing a mission right now. Like, it's kind of funny what's going on. So that was his dude that was in the when he was in the elevator,
Mhm.
and that thing with the long beak that was walking to the hallway.
Okay,
That's
now
supposed to be his god. That's doing his thing.
that's whose
That's
God
controlling his
now? Say
body.
that again. Whose God is
That's
that?
Mark's. That's Mark's god. That's controlling his body. That's the one that was in the elevator
Now who's
or
controlling
walking.
Steven?
The other one that remember when he was in the museum
Right, the
and he was
bathroom.
looking on the
Mhm.
one, yeah, that one that's on the like the dog face. I don't know. Like
Right, mhm.
I'm not up in Egyptian lore.
The
I
one
should
with the
be based
long
on,
sort of, nose or whatever it is, that's a totally
yeah, well they
different.
both have long noses. I'm not up
Mhm.
on Egyptian lore. I should watch more Stargate, which is blasphemy in itself, but like it's
You know?
I'm not sure who's what or whatever, like the names or whatever, but they that's what I gathered from watching the show. Like there's different gods fighting each other through these people.
Yeah.
That's the basically it's
You
the
know,
best way to describe
sometimes a really good sci-fi show, because it's confusing and complicated, it sort of makes it good, right? I mean, because
it.
it's
Mhm.
confusing and complicated, I wanna see more. I wanna see what the next
Yeah, yeah.
episode is.
It's compelling. I wanna see the next
Yeah.
episode. Now that he knows what the hell's going on, I would
And
like to
it
see
looks
more.
good, you know? It looks good. It
Mhm.
looks really good. I mean, the graphics are dope. I mean, the CGI.
Yeah, I like that from a storytelling perspective.
Mhm.
Rather than having to show you all the fight sequences or whatever, they're like, "Oscar don't have time for that, all right?
Right.
Listen, just put a gun in his hand and some blood. This is what happened, all right? Everyone got shot. Okay, move on."
He wakes
Like,
up and it's like
but
4 dead people. It's just like, "What happened?"
yeah, like I thought that was a cool way to tell the story and still give you the impression of what happened here. Like he had when he's trying to give the whatever the scarab to the Arthur character,
Yeah.
and then he wakes up and his hand is all bloody, and then there's like five dead bodies around him.
Mhm.
Or when he was driving the
Ice cream truck.
cupcake van?
The
I think it's
cupcake, yeah,
cupcake.
cupcakes, uh-huh.
Yeah, 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 when he's driving
Exactly.
the cupcake truck
Mhm.
and these guys had guns, and the next thing he wakes up and he's like, "Oh wait, I have the gun now."
Yeah.
And these cars they've all gone. And, like it was a cool way to tell that story without spending any money on the budget, which
Mhm.
is genius. Because I'm assuming this show is going to be special effects intensive to do his costume and everything else. So
Yeah.
they're like, we got to save the fight scenes for when
Mhm.
he's wearing the suit
Yeah.
and waste time on that. Let's just get going. So that was cool. I
Yeah.
didn't mind that at all. I thought that was cool.
Now, he was only called Mark once in this episode, and that was when he found the phone and the key, like, inside of his wall, and some person,
Yeah,
Layla,
he was Steven for the whole show.
Right. So, like, I guess they're gonna let us know who Mark is. Maybe it's the person who's
Mhm.
in his head. We don't know, right? Um,
Yeah, yeah, it's the person in his head that when he was in
mhm.
the bathroom at the end of the show,
Yeah,
that was Mark that
person
was
in the
talking to
mirror.
him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like,
And he
even
speaks
thinking about it
he's
is kind of
American.
creepy. Like, yeah, it leaves. Yeah, exactly. But he looks just like
He's
him, or
very
is it
American.
same person, or with a different accent. I don't know.
Yeah, it's,
Mhm.
'cause it's multiple personalities, so I guess
Okay.
the American version of him, and I guess he's gonna walk different and dress different kinda thing to kinda div divici separate him from, who's who or whatever, make it easier for the people
Right.
watching.
Now, who's Layla, the person on the phone?
Now, that's a good question. I'm
Mhm.
not sure about that. I'm assuming that Mark was running missions for Layla, or he's working with her to get stuff,
Oh, yeah,
retrieve things.
that's a good theory. Hmm.
Cause like, yeah, she was like, "Yo, where the hell are you? I thought you
Right.
got killed or whatever." So she seems read in on what the hell is going on with him. So that's where I think that comes from. That most likely he's running missions for her, or he's getting intel from her. She called a lot. And there's the other guy, was it Dumont or something like that?
Yeah,
The other person that called.
Duchamp or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I don't I should
Whoever
have wrote that
whoever
down. But
that
like, yeah,
is.
there's somebody else
Mhm.
called though, but this Layla called a lot.
A lot.
Then she hung up with him when she realized that it wasn't the same guy, which is I think that she knows there's the multiple personality
Something like
thing.
she
I think
knew
she's
she
read up.
hung up. She was like, "Wait a minute, why do you sound like that?" And then she was like, "Uh-oh, something's going on." She hung up the phone,
Yeah, yeah, she just hung
you
up
know.
immediately like, "I don't know what
Exactly.
this is.
So we
Wrong
have the
number."
so we have the phone and we
Mhm.
also have a key. What does that key go to?
I don't know. There's probably a lockbox where you're storing stuff. Maybe
Man.
scarabs in there, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could be like a a box in, like, a bus station or something, like, they have a lot of that in there, or bowling alley, I don't know.
Mhm.
It's a key to something, a
Yeah.
lockbox,
This is
or
again,
it's
this
in a
is
bank.
right.
It could be in a bank, or whatever.
Exactly. Or an apartment or a hotel room or something like that. You know, this
Mhm,
is a brand new show. Again, we don't know much about Moon
mhm,
Knight, but it looks like a really good show. When the show
mhm,
first started off, you saw Arthur breaking up a glass, then putting the broken glass in his shoes, and then walking
mhm.
out. It looked like he was walking inside of the museum, right?
Yeah, I don't know where he was.
It looked
Maybe
like
he's
the
in a
museum. It looked like I think it was the
That's
museum.
possible.
Yeah.
I have to watch it again. I didn't notice that. I just thought he was somewhere, like, on a lair or something.
The first time I
Because
watched
obviously
it,
he's a bad guy. The
yeah.
first time you see him, like, yeah, he's a bad guy.
The first time I watched it, I was like, I didn't know, and then when I watched it for a second time, I was like, "Oh, that's the museum. It looks like the museum."
Okay, I gotta watch this
Yeah,
again.
I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, okay." So this may be a show that you have to. I like to watch a show once without any subtitles,
Mhm.
then a second time with subtitles. You know, just
Yeah.
to
But
sort
for
of like
sure,
get everything.
this show has a lot of layers for what's
It
going on
has a
here
lot of
that
layers.
you
This
know.
show
There's a
it
lot of layers.
really, really, really it looks good. Very
Mhm.
impressive graphics, CGI, the whole nine. Let's see where this show was shot. Where do you think this show may have possibly been shot?
I'm gonna go California. I'll say
I'm gonna go Canada because everything is shot in Canada.
California.
Atlanta, Georgia. Wow.
All right, there you go. Atlanta, Georgia. It's one of
Wow.
the
Okay.
others, either California or Georgia
Right.
sometimes.
It's not New
One or
York
the other.
because that's a bit too
Ah,
expensive.
this Yes, yeah,
You know,
for
and
sure.
LA is
And you
definitely
got the
expensive
hills
too.
and stuff in Georgia. You could probably get, but I didn't notice red dirt, so that's why I didn't think it would be over there.
Right.
They should have some red dirt if it's Georgia.
So Stephen Grant, he chains himself to his bed every night because I
Mhm.
guess he's afraid that he may just wander out and just start Swiss cheesing folks, right?
Well, he said he keeps waking up in, like, random places, and he's gotta walk back, and so he's trying to stop that and,
He's got to
prevent him
walk
from
back
getting
from
out.
like Belgium.
Yeah, whatever he's in
Wow.
Europe, he's gotta walk back. 'Cause, like, how long did it take him? Because he was, like, on some monastery or something in the middle of that couldn't have been England, that's gotta be somewhere else. It didn't
Yeah.
look like England.
You mean like when he was there, like, and then he ran into the
Yeah, when he got
village?
the scarab,
Yeah.
it looked kind of like Italy or maybe somewhere, like, south of France.
Yeah.
It didn't look like England for
Some
sure.
small
Uh,
Switzerland village.
yeah, Switzerland or maybe
Yeah.
too, well, it's kinda warm for Switzerland, but
mm.
I don't know, it's possible. Wherever it is, it didn't look like England for sure. I
I'm
don't know
try
any roads up
right.
there.
So when I saw that and I'm like, oh, it's shot in Georgia, right? Atlanta. You know,
Mhm.
where's that in like where's that location in Georgia? I mean, is it like
That's
downtown
not
Atlanta?
Yeah, I'm saying it gave the impression of that's gotta be somewhere else.
Right.
That's not England, I know that.
Is it CGI, you
Especially
think, or
he lives
what?
in London, that's not London.
Mhm. Do you think it's CGI or something? They would just like green screen this joint or what?
Yeah, yeah, they're trying to give the impression is he's somewhere in Europe.
Yeah.
They for sure they're trying to give the impression. I don't know where though. I It looked kinda like there's parts of, like, France that look like that, and there's also parts of Italy that look
Yeah,
like that
that's
too.
true. That's true, man. You
So,
know,
like, I don't know. Offhand, I couldn't tell you where it was
it
supposed to
looks
be.
it's not on location. It
And
looks really real.
I didn't read the truck. I should have read the side of the truck. Like, I breezed right past that
Right.
'cause you could figure out what language it was, and then you could tell where it was. But I saw the truck and I read right past it, and the guy was like, "Hey," but it was in subtitles. I was like, "Alright, whatever."
Here's a guy. Basically, the
Mhm.
village is after him, right?
Yeah,
He
everyone's under is he under his control like zombies, or they're just, like, people because they had the when he went to the museum, everybody had that scale thing on their
Yeah,
arm.
uh-huh, yep,
So as if they
mhm.
just there's a secret society type thing, or
That's
are
what
they
if
like zombies? I couldn't tell.
That's what it looks like, that's what it feels like. This is some sort of a religious fanatic sort of
Mhm,
cult or something, and they're all sort of brainwashed and everything else. When
mhm.
they were in the village and, he was just Swiss cheesing folks and then he was trying to run away from everyone who was trying to
And they're
get
like,
him.
"Oh, hell no."
This guy, he went into the cupcake truck. The cupcake truck,
Mhm,
the door window was down. And it's just like he
mhm.
just hopped in the truck. No one like went and like, tackled him like three, four people. I'm just like, he just got in the truck and like left. I was just like, okay, that's a little
That
interesting right there.
that's after he Swiss cheesed those 5 guys, so I think they're like, "Whoa, ho, don't attack
I
him.
don't want to touch this
Stay back."
person, and then all
Yeah,
of a
yeah,
sudden they
stay
they get
back.
in these cars and they're going through. That was a beautiful scene how they were just like driving around the
Mhm,
mountain, right? Down the
mhm,
mountain. That was really cool. I was like, man, this Moon Knight, it looks really good.
mhm,
When you look at YouTube videos and people say, I can watch a bad video with good audio, but I can't watch a good
mhm.
video with bad audio, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
With a
That
show
is
like this, because it looks so good, the quality is so great. That pulls me in first and foremost. And then if the storyline is good, I want to continue watching. So I think they did a really good job at grabbing us first with the quality, right? And then the
mhm.
storyline. And then it's like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. And you can't deny the fact that the Moon Knight, his uniform, his outfit is sick, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks dope. It looks
Mhm.
dope. But, like, it's a the storyline is a good mystery. Like, I'm interested in seeing what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
And the fact that they have good act because Ethan Hawke's a great actor, and
Yeah.
so is Oscar Isaac.
Mhm.
So if they're doing something, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt just to see. They've been in bad things too, but, I'm giving the benefit of the doubt because I like them in general. And I like where the introduction to the story. He's all chained up, and the guy put the thing in his shoe. Like, I want to see more. What the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
Who are these people? Why are they doing this? And he
Because
kind of gave you a basic introduction of there's some gods fighting, and
right,
these guys are proxies. Like, it got that. I'm like, okay, I want to see more.
right. Because when Arthur was still in a village and when he was walking towards the people, you still heard the glass in his shoes. You
Yeah,
still
yeah, this
heard
is
that. I was
crunchy
like,
in his shoes. Yeah,
okay, this guy just walked a million miles and he still has glass in his shoes. I want to know what the glass is all about. I definitely want to know what that's
yeah.
all
He's
about.
got no blood either, so he's
No
got some
blood either.
robust feet.
Yeah. And then the way that scale moves when he's like reading people, like you're a good person, you're a
Mhm,
bad person. When he read Stephen Grant, he was like, you have
mhm.
chaos. You
Yeah.
have chaos. And it's like, of course he has chaos. If like the Moon Knight is, I guess the mercenary who's like
Mhm.
hooking up with his body and then Swiss cheesing folks, like, yeah, like the Moon Knight is chaotic, isn't he? He's like, that's all about chaos for him.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he doesn't know what the hell is going on either, so that's the chaos part.
Oh
He
my
really doesn't
goodness.
he doesn't understand anything.
This is a good
And
one,
now
man.
I'm curious,
Mhm.
how long has this been going on where they've been using his body? How long has that been happening?
Right. Exactly. And with Disney Plus, they're not going to give you 10 episodes. They're not going to give you
I
12
think it's
episodes.
6. I
They're
think
going
this
to
is
give
only
you
6
six episodes. Let me see here. They're going to
Oscar
give
is
you
busy. This guy's got movies to do. He's got Star
He's
Wars
got
and crap. You don't
movies
have
to
time
like
for
be
this.
in. He's got movies to act in. He's got movies to
Yeah,
direct. Six
you don't have time for that. They filmed this thing in a couple weeks. They're like, "Go. Let's go."
six
All
episodes.
right.
That's it.
Yeah, it's 6.
So
That's all you
this is a
getting.
quick one. Yeah, this is but you know what? Like I said, this is first time we're watching this. I definitely want to know more about this character and
Mhm.
it's interesting, it's not too many Marvel things that I like. I'm not really into the bigger characters
Mhm.
because they make him corny. Moon
Yeah.
Knight looks like it's some adult type stuff, right? I mean,
Yeah, it's for sure, it's a little
mhm,
bit more mature.
yeah.
I'm surprised they had this much blood in the show because Disney kinda takes this stuff out. Disney just got caught erasing blood out of the Falcon and Winter Soldier show.
What?
I'm like, I'm surprised they got away with this much blood. This is crazy.
Yeah, man, this is very good. Is there anything in particular about this one episode that interests you?
Well, the multiple personality thing, because I don't we didn't actually do a rundown of the show. I
No
can do a
need.
quick one.
You if you want to, but
Basically,
yeah, go ahead.
he wakes up and he works at a museum and he switches bodies. His other body goes out and does some work.
Mhm.
That's not a short rundown of the
That's
show.
really it. That's really it.
He switches bodies.
Mhm.
He's trying to figure out what's going on with his bodies, and apparently he's in a war with other gods using these guys as avatars. The end. That's the show.
That's really it. And then it's going to really get into how these things come together. Why him? Why Steven? Why
Mhm.
Stephen Grant?
Yes.
He's just a lonely gift shop worker at a museum. Why him?
Mhm.
Again, I'm really interested in this. When I saw it, I was just like, oh, I don't know. And then you were like, hey, take a look at it. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, this looks good.
Yeah, it's a quality show.
This
Based
is a
on who's putting it together, it's a
quality
quality show.
show, man. What are you going to rate episode number 1, The Goldfish Problem?
I would rate it at least 8.5 for me.
Whoa.
I liked it a lot.
Hmm.
I liked it a lot. I think
Hmm.
it's an interesting premise. I think it's kinda cool. Is it reminds me of, like, the Hulk,
Hmm.
where, he has some kinda control, but, like, he at least the Hulk knows when he's gonna switch. This guy, he just wakes up and he's another thing.
Right. Yeah.
Like, he has no control over him, and, like, that I like the premise. I think the premise is interesting, and I don't think there's any big shows around this premise before. So, I'm down with it. I wanna see more.
Yeah. I'm also going to give it an 8.5. I think that along the way, those two will
Mhm.
integrate a lot more easily. Like Stephen Grant, he's going to be into the whole integration. Like, oh, wait a minute, I have powers when I'm this person, right? So, and I think he's going to
Yeah.
be into that. So I think the
Mhm.
integration is going to be seamless at some point. Again, 8.5. It looks great. Movie quality. You can't front on that. CGI,
Mhm.
video, everything. I mean, just like the different places where they, record some of these scenes in the museum or in some village like in Sweden or wherever it is, right? Germany, whatever.
Mhm.
Definitely something I am interested in continuing to watch because it's just a great looking show. And here we
Yeah.
go. Like, check this out. Here we go. First show we saw.
Mhm.
I mean, you're the comic book person. You know all about the MCU stuff, right? This is a
Mhm.
character you're not even familiar with, are you?
No, I don't know anything about him. I've seen him, I
Hmm.
know the name, but I haven't, like, read any books about it. So, like,
Okay.
I'm very excited about this.
So we're both going into this like, not
Yeah,
knowing anything.
I don't know anything. I have no idea.
Okay, that's okay. Well, then this is going to be very good. There you have it. This is Moon Knight episode number 1, The Goldfish Problem. We both gave it an 8.5. We are definitely interested in continuing to watch this show and hit you off with some more reviews. Very good show. Well, there
Mhm.
you have it. Another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.
Alright.